Peggy 16.
The Imperial nobility intends to prove its superiority on the field. Money rules the world, and Blood Bowl is no exception. Some rich nobles, dynamic entrepreneurs, and crime bosses see the sport as ideal cover for tax evasion. Some even create their own teams to fulfill their dreams of fame. Sporting luxuriant feathers and gleaming armor, the Imperial nobility has access to practically unlimited funds for scooping up the best coaches, the best equipment, and of course, the best players in the game. All this makes them a formidable force in the world of Blood Bowl. The Imperial nobility's team mainly consists of human players, but they often also include an ogre for his outrageous hitting power and ability to clear the field. Welcome to the Imperial Nobility's team's presentation video. The Imperial nobility primarily relies on its aggressive defense and swift counterattacks. Bodyguards and linemen create a solid defensive line, acting like a wall to stop your opponents. The ogre's hitting power serves both defensive and offensive play by creating spaces on the field for your players to take advantage of. Counterattacks rely on blitzers and throwers working in tandem. There are 5 types of players in the Imperial nobility's teams. Imperial Retainer Linemen. These players are the foundation of your team. They enable you to create an effective line of defense in midfield. Imperial Throwers. Thanks to their passing skills, these versatile players are able to execute complex phases of play with ease. Noble Blitzers. Equally at ease, breaking through offensive lines as picking up the ball, blitzers are sure to prove crucial to your strategy. Bodyguards, your opponent's worst nightmares. They stand firm when tackled and are no less formidable in attack. And finally, the Ogre. The Ogre is a veritable machine when you want to add more muscle to your game. He can sweep the field clean, making room for your blitzers, and when working hand in hand with the bodyguards, he can really make the opposing coach sweat. On recruitment, each member of your team has several traits and skills that will give you the edge over your opponents. Let's take a moment to analyze them. The Imperial Retainer Linemen have the primary fend skill, which allows them to prevent opposing players from following them after a block. The Imperial Throwers have 2 skills: Pass, which allows them to re-roll a failed passing capacity test, and Running Pass, which allows them to move after a quick pass if they have any movement left. In addition to their armor and movement, Noble Blitzers have 2 skills that are certain to make their opponents quake. The Block skill allows them to ignore a both down result during a block declaration. And the Catch skill allows them to re-roll a failed agility test when trying to catch a ball. Bodyguards also have 2 skills: Stand Firm, which prevents them from being pushed back by an opponent after a block declaration, and Wrestle, which allows your player to avoid injury and a turnover on a both down result. The Ogre's Mighty Blow allows him to modify an armor or injury roll when tackling an opponent. His Thick Skull allows him to transform a KO into a simple stunned result when he's tackled. However, his traits can work against him. The Ogre's traits make him an unpredictable player. Bonehead means you have to roll the dice every time you declare an action for the player, and the result decides whether your ogre plays on or forgets what he's supposed to be doing for good. Blitzers are indispensable team members because of both their physical attributes and their ability to catch the ball, but they are very expensive to recruit, and you can only have 2 on your team. As such valuable players, they make prime targets for your opponents. In general, team re-rolls will cost you more than the other teams, limiting your ability to control dice rolls.
Uh-oh, that's interesting.
Did you see that, Bob?
I sure did, Jim. What a sneaky git.
For more information about Blood Bowl 3 and to make sure you don't miss any of the latest news, follow us on social media. See you on the field!